Alrighty, hello everybody. I got a Wade and Butcher that I just finished restoring. Horn scales, they weren't in too bad conditions. There were some bug or beetle bites. There was a lot of rust on the spine here and on the toe, and you can see that it's a pretty thin grind. Cleaned up okay. I got the bevel set, so if you can hear it, still have some sound going in, but the bevel set. So I have a Tamo Shanter here, and I have used it a couple times. There's actually a dip right there that I hopefully can get through, and I've done a couple of edges with it. They were okay. But Robert at Razor's Edge was saying he really enjoyed the edge, so I figured that's what I would do this time with this hone. Let's give it a go. I noticed like it's got a certain feeling to it. It puts me in mind both this and the Water of Air. They both put me in mind, like when I got them out of the box, when I first got them from Griffith Shavings Goods, it smelt like cement bags, like the dust, and it had that same kind of texture. It's like a sticky, not the gritty part, but the powder, and it's got like a sticky, grabby sensation, and the way it feels is like if you have your wet finger and you rub it on the bags of the cement mix or whatever, it's got that same sensation. And so that's what these stones put me in mind of, the way they grab and stuff. It does smooth out, but it's very grabby sensation. It's pretty smooth and no grit. And then this is also, it's the dual hone with the white Tam O'Shanter and the very fine Water of Air. So they're both fine stones. They have other ones that are the gray, which are a lower grit, I assume. And then, of course, the Dalmore, same area that they mine the mudstones out of Scotland, and so pretty neat little stones. And just I haven't had too much experience with them yet. I've done a little bit, like I said, just a couple edges. Didn't quite get the keenness that I was after or whatever, but it was fairly comfortable. It's very similar to the conical feeling. In some regards, but since I got the bevel set, I'm basically just redoing the scratch patterns on the last stone. So my progression, well, of course there are some nasty chips on the edge, so I thought this was a Hindustan, but it doesn't have the striations, so I'm guessing it's probably some sort of Japanese stone, because when I looked at the up close with my little cheap microscope, the I don't remember what they're called, micro bright or whatever, I looked at what I could have see of these, and it was very similar to how the structure was very similar to the chew that I have. So I'm thinking that is Japanese, but it's a much rougher grit. Then I have this, which Eric says more than likely is oh I went blank. Anyways, it's up in East Coast, North Vermont, purple Vermont, and then this one probably is too. It's just a finer version of it. So I went from those two, and then now I'm doing this, which I think I'm going to redo the slurry on this. And this is a 600 Atoma plate. And I'm going to get a good slurry going on there. I want to get past those dips, to tell you the truth. I don't like having those pockets on there. But yeah, this razor is fairly straightforward to clean up. Whoever had them, probably the owner themselves took care of it, but probably more than likely the person died, and whoever stored them afterwards didn't take care of them at all, which is what happens. And so there was quite a bit of rust, but it was a lot of different ones that I was surprised. I was only expecting one or two to be worth anything, but the scales on this one were very good. And then there was two Joseph Rogers. This one was actually in really good condition, like the blade, very little rust on it, but there was pretty bad chipping, so that's why you see this toe curl up a bit, and there was chipping down here at the heel. This is another Joseph Rogers and Sons, and this one has a lot deeper. This one was I think affected a lot more than the rest of them. This one had more deep damage than the other ones had. But that one, the scales were, someone redid them, and so they're plastic scales on the other one. So I have two scales to remake in horn. I prefer having the natural scales than the plastic. I don't want to worry about the gases gassing off the material and damaging other razors as well as that other one. So slowly but surely I've been going through the different razors and redoing the scales on some of them so that they don't have the plastic scales. But it's still that smooth. It's not really chalky, and if it is a chalky, it is that kind of gritty chalk, but not the real bad grit. But like I said, it's more indicative of the powder that you get from the cement bags. It's just, to me, that's the texture and the odor that it gets off. So there's might be high in the calcium or whatever it is, or one of the things that make up the structure of, or the chemicals of the stone. So I'm starting to feel a little bit more resistance on it, and it feels like it's becoming more continuous with the scratch pattern, or adapted to it. So now rinse it, clean off that old slurry, and then now what I'm going to do is resurface it using my Zulu gray thing, because I want a different surface, and this Zulu gray is harder and fairly smooth. It's still a matte texture, so it's not polishing the Tamo Shanter, so I'm not overdoing it. But what it's doing is making it so I get a smaller striation on the apex. I'm trying to isolate the stone just to be the Tamo Shanter slurry. There might be a little that comes off of this, but this is fairly fine, and so I'm not too concerned about that coming off and causing problems. That's why I kind of like to use it for my slurry stones for others, as well as the Zulu gray. And it's squeaking, so it means it's polishing up. And I'm doing these half strokes because the stone is small and I am working it sectionally, doing a little bit at a time along the edge to ensure that I'm getting a consistent coverage on my bevel. And I go by also feel of how it feels on the stone. I want it each side and along the different parts to have that same sensation before I move along, and not just doing full strokes till it feels like it's about ready. I think I got a little bit more on this side. Yeah, I was worried about this one, the rust going through it, but because this blade is so thin, and there was a big part here, and then of course up on the bevel under the spine. But there was chip out, big old chips along the old bevel, but it didn't go down into the belly and stuff on this thin grind. And I'm wondering, it's because the way the grind looks, it puts me in mind of very thin. It puts me in mind of the Philharmonica. But the Philharmonica, I think, is the one I got. I got a 14. The grind is a lot thicker than this thing. This is not the thinnest one I've used, but it's still got a firmness to it, but it feels thinner than the Philharmonica that I got, the 14. And that's it's a 3/4. I don't know what this one is. This one might be 15/16 maybe, or something like that. Just above 3/4, I'm sure. Probably was bigger at one time. It's probably 7/8 or 8/8. Because you see how it goes, tapers down, so they must have been used quite a bit. But this doesn't say England. It's still the Sheffield, but it looks like it was after they stopped doing the stamping the logo in, that it's the etching they did, and that's what it puts me in mind of. So it's not super old, but it was before they started adding England to it. So I still feel some inconsistencies in those different parts. Like the toe feels a little bit probably has more